यमुनातीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. So today we will be starting a new every Saturday under the blessings of His Grace Kanai Thakur, we will be looking into one verse of the Damodarashtakam. So today we will be starting the first verse of the Damodarashtakam. So we will just sing the first verse only and then we will try to decipher the meanings as given by our acharyas, make an attempt. So we will just sing the first verse. Namamisvaram sac-cid-ananda-rupam lasat-kundalam gokule bhrajamanam yasoda-bhiyolukhalad dhavamanam paramrishtam atyantato drutya gopya So the meaning was supposed to be there in the translation. Okay, so maybe one more devotee can sing this verse till the time it comes. Anyone would like to make an attempt? Namamisvaram sac-cid-ananda-rupam lasat-kundalam gokule bhrajamanam yasoda-bhiyolukhalad dhavamanam paramrishtam atyantato drutya gopya. So we just read the word-to-word meaning and the translation, and then we will dive deep into this verse and try to relish some of the meanings. So namami, I bow down. Ishwaram, to the Supreme Controller. Sac-cid-ananda-rupam, who is composed of eternity, knowledge and bliss. Lasat-kundalam, whose earrings play and swing. Gokule bhrajamanam, who splendorously manifest in Gokul. Yasoda-bhiyolukhalad, in fear of Mother Yashoda. Ulukhalad dhavamanam, who gets down from the wooden rice grinding mortar and runs away. Paramrishtam, catching him by the back. Atyam, very much. Tatam drutya, chasing after him quickly. Gopya, by the gopi. Shri Yashoda. Translation. To the Supreme Lord, whose form is the embodiment of eternal existence, knowledge and bliss, whose shark-shaped earrings are swinging to and fro, who is beautifully shining in the divine realm of Gokul, who I, due to the offense of breaking the pot of yogurt that his mother was churning into butter, and then stealing the butter that was kept hanging from a swing, is quickly running from the wooden grinding mortar in fear of Mother Yashoda, but who has been caught from behind by her, who ran after him with greater speed. To that Supreme Lord, Shri Damodar, I offer my humble obeisances. Shri Shri Radha Damodar ki, Shri Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Padkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Shunyavadi Paschyatate Shutarini Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratushe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Giram Yat Kripa Tavaham Vande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam. Hare Krishna. So within 1-2 days we will be having the Kartik month starting, and as a part of the Kartik month, every single day we will be singing this Damodarashtakam. Is it not? Every single day. So we sing it every day, but it is very, very important for us to understand what are we singing. Now, what is the meaning of exactly what we are singing? So in the next 4 Saturdays at least we'll be covering 4 verses, and today I will make an attempt, with the blessings of all the Vaishnavas, to try to say something in relation to this verse. So I seek blessings of all the Vaishnavas so that it may be pleasing to all of y'all, pleasing to the Supreme Lord. And I speak, whatever I speak, it's for the purification of my heart. So all of you know the Damodar Leela, correct? I will not be going to the details of the narration of the pastime, but Damodar, the word Damodar is, Dam means what? Rope, correct? And Udhar means? Yes, it means belly. So that belly, so Krishna's belly or Damodar's belly was bound by the rope, and it was not by one rope. There were many, many ropes that actually bound Krishna. Mother Yashoda was trying, she was sweating, she was fretting and trying to understand, how do I bind Krishna? But she was unable to bind Krishna. But then finally, Krishna allowed her to bind. What is that factor that actually allowed Mother Yashoda to bind that limitless Lord who is unfathomable? Our great acharyas say that Krishna is heavier than the heaviest, smaller than the smallest. He's lighter than the lightest. But how is that supreme limitless Lord could be bound by something so limited such as the ropes? The great Rishi says, the great Rishis say, Dhyana vastita tat gaten manaso pashyanti yam yogino. The second line of that verse is, Yasyantam na vidhu surasura gana devaya tasmai namaha. The yogis, what do? They sit in one-pointed concentration, one-pointed contemplation, trying to meditate on the Paramatma. But what happens? They are able to, but that form of the Paramatma is actually not a full manifestation of the Bhagavata, of the Supreme Lord. And Yasyantam, what is the meaning of Yasyantam? Yasyantam means that Lord who is without an end and without a beginning. Na vidhu sura asura gana devaya tasmai namaha. And that limitless Lord cannot be fathomed by whom? By the sura and the asura. They also cannot understand, oh, who is that Supreme Lord, that limitless Supreme Lord? There is another very beautiful reference given in relation to this, where this Braj Rasik poet called Rasakan, he says, Anadi Ananta Akhanda Ached Abheda Suveda Batave. He says, Krishna is Ananta. He's unlimited. He's Akhanda. He is the supreme soul of all souls, the supreme manifestation. He's Abheda. He's indivisible. He's Acheda. What do you mean by Ached? The word Ached means he's qualitatively, everything is him actually. Krishna, there is no difference between Krishna and his energies. Shakti, Shakti Matayor Abheda. Of course, I'm not talking here from a Mayavadi point of view, that everything is one. But ultimately, whatever is inside of Krishna, whatever is outside of Krishna is ultimately his energy only. So, that Supreme Lord who pervades everything, actually, that Supreme Lord who pervades everything is actually limitless. He has no boundaries. But the transcendental point of humor at this point of time is that limitless Lord is being tried to be bound by something limited, such as the ropes. So that is what is the beauty of this pastime. Even Brahma, Lord Brahma, he also tried to take darshan of the Supreme Lord. When he first manifested on the lotus which was coming out from the navel of Mahavishnu, he tried everywhere to look, what is the source of my existence? He went right down to the stem and tried to look for it. But he could not find his existence. And he tried to say, hello, is anyone there out? No, but he could not find anyone. And he came back to the top. And finally he heard the two transcendental syllables called ta-pa. And then Brahma started tapasya. So even after doing tapa, even before that, Lord Brahma could not get darshan of the Supreme Lord. He could not get the darshan of the Supreme Lord. Then what to talk about, chasing the Supreme Lord? What to talk about chastising the Supreme Lord? What to talk about binding that Supreme Lord next to a grinding mortar, and that Supreme Lord crying for his life? So even Lord Brahma, cannot understand. He says, Jananta eva janantu. Kim bhaktya name prabhu. Jananta eva janantu. Oh, my dear Lord, no one can ever know you. And if anyone in this world claims to know you, what do I talk about them? Vapusho manaso vacho. With mind, body and words. No, even with my mind, body and words, I cannot understand you. You are so limitless. You are so unfathomable. But that unfathomable, limitless Lord is caught by something so limited, such as something as gross as ropes. So therefore, this word Damodar, which we began, is very, very dear to the Vaishnavas. Why? Because here Krishna shows the quality of Bhritya Vashyata. He shows the quality that I am ready to be controlled by my devotees. I am ready to become subservient to the desires and the wishes of my devotees. So therefore, that is why this word Damodar is very, very dear to the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. When we sing from now onwards the Damodarashtakam, we normally say Shri Shri Radha Damodar ki Jai. Is it not? Now, one question that may arise in the mind, why do we say Shri Shri Radha Damodar? Because in the altar throughout the month, we'll be having Radha and Yashoda and Damodar. But we say Radha Damodar. So our Acharyas also give a very beautiful explanation to this. So the Acharyas say that actually, that the love, although Mother Yashoda is standing next to Damodar, binding him, but what is the origin of that love that Mother Yashoda experiences for Krishna, for Damodar? That love that Mother Yashoda experiences for Krishna is actually originating from Shrimati Radharani. And the topmost form of love in Vrindavan is manifested by the gopis of Vrindavan. But amongst the gopis of Vrindavan, that love ultimately culminates in that love that Srimati Radharani has for Krishna. So therefore, Acharyas give a very beautiful understanding that this is the reason we say Radha Damodar ki Jai. So one may wonder that how is, Krishna being bound by something such as gross as ropes. Actually, if you try to understand, the mind is also being so fast, so powerful, so capable, is also not able to catch Krishna. We have so many thoughts, 50 million thoughts that are running, that are stored in our head. So therefore we understand by this how subtle the mind is. If you have a box, filled with stones, after a certain point of time, there is a limit, up to which you can fill the box. But the mind, even if you have millions and millions of thoughts, there's no point that you get a headache. Oh, I have so many thoughts running through my mind. Your head does not get heavy. That is the storage capacity of our mind. So the mind, which is so subtle, which is so fabric, which has a very subtle fabric, is not able to catch Krishna. We have so many workshops, how to go from inattentive japa to attentive japa, correct? Why? Because the mind is unable to catch Krishna. So that mind which is unable to catch Krishna, what will he be able to catch Krishna's form? That sac-cid-ananda-rupam form, that beautiful form which is full of truth, full of knowledge and full of eternity. Oh, the mind cannot do it. Because Krishna, even mind is subtle, Krishna is all the more subtler than the mind. He is the subtlest of subtlest. So this is what we need to understand, that even that person who cannot be caught by the whole creation or even all the creations put together is caught by Mother Yashoda. So this is something so wonderful. So in the introduction to the Damodarashtakam, actually the Damodarashtakam is given, the commentary to the Damodarashtakam is given by Srila Sanatana Goswami. So you will also find this in Radha Damodarashtaka written by Vyasa Prabhu in the appendix. So most of what I'm going to speak today is basically what I have read in the commentary given by Sanatana Goswami. And of course, a very beautiful lecture by Gaur Krishna Maharaj, who very illuminates us with beautiful aspects of this wonderful verse. So the commentary written by Sanatana Goswami is named as Dig Darshani Tika. So Tika means commentary, Dig means direction, and Darshani means to illuminate. So Sanatana Goswami has written this commentary to illuminate the path, to make us understand and relish these 8 verses of the Damodarashtakam. In other words, Sanatana Goswami wants us to go deep and understand, instead of just like a parrot, singing, he wants us to understand the meaning and the deeper imports of this particular verse. So therefore, Sanatana Goswami has very mercifully given this commentary. So even Hari-bhakti-vilasa, which is another work composed by Srila Sanatana Goswami, talks about the Damodarashtakam, the importance of singing. He says in that particular work that when you sing the Damodarashtakam every day, morning and evening, this immensely pleases Srimati Radharani. And this Ashtakam is actually found originally in the pages of Padma Purana, and this is actually revealed by Narada Muni in a conversation between Narada Muni and the sages of Naimisharanya, the Saunaka Adi Rishis. So it's not that this particular composition, Satyavrata Muni thought, oh, it's time that I'm not undertaking some big project. Let us take up some big project. Let us do some composition. No. Actually, this particular series of verses is not a composition, rather it is a revelation. That revelation which has come out of intense bhajan, intense devotional service to the Supreme Lord Shri Hari. It is a result of that today all of us sing Damodarashtakam. And the benediction given to the reader is that realization that Satyavrata Muni, he was revealed within his consciousness, that realization can also be manifested in the hearts of each and every devotee who sing this particular Ashtakam and who understand the meaning of the Ashtakam. So that same realization that Satyavrata Muni gets, we can also take benefit of it. So this is what, Sanatana Goswami in the Hari-bhakti-vilasa reveals very, very beautifully. So, and Narada Muni also says, actually this is a Nitya Siddha Stuti. What do you mean by Nitya Siddha Stuti? Nitya means eternal, Siddha means all perfected, and Stuti means a glorification of the Supreme Lord Sri Hari. And each verse of the Damodarashtakam goes deeper, than the previous verse. And what we are going to, because as we go ahead, there are some verses, whose commentary is also very esoteric. So the first 5 verses are very something, it's safe to comment upon and touch upon. So therefore, this is what is the Damodarashtakam, which is actually something which is an original composition. Sanatana Goswami starts the glorification of Damodarashtakam with a very beautiful verse, taking blessings. So he says, Shri Radha Sahitam Natva, Shri Damodar Ishwaram, Damodar Ashtakam Vyakya Dig Darshani Adhunataha. So first he pays his obeisances to Srimati Radharani. Second, he offers his obeisances to Damodar. And then as he goes on with the composition, he says, this is what is the Dig Darshana Tika. That is where the name comes from. Digesh Adhunataha. Where I will now help you direct your consciousness and illuminate your consciousness into the imports of these particular verses. So let us go into the meaning now. I wish, can the verse be thing? So the first, the original verse, yeah. So namamisvaram sac-cid-ananda-rupam. Namami. So namami Ishwaram. So this is what is the Mangalacharan, to the remaining 7 verses. So what is the importance of Mangalacharan? The opening verse is this opening verse is a Mangalacharan. Means the author offers Mangalacharan to invoke auspiciousness. Because many a times while writing a composition, there could be many obstacles. Like for example, the lack of revelation. Prematurely there could be the death of the person who's making this composition. So here the author with deepest feelings of devotion is praying to the Supreme Lord that, my dear Lord, let this work be completed. Let all auspiciousness be bestowed upon this work so that it can please you and the readers of this work. So this is the main agenda. Actually, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj, he gives 3 types of Mangalacharan. He says the first kind of Mangalacharan is Namaskar Kriya Atmika Mangalacharan, where the reader, where the author or the poet is begging, he's paying his obeisances, like Krishnadas Kaviraj Maharaj in Adi Lila 1.1, he is offering his obeisances. Vande Gurun Isha Bhaktan Isham Isha Avatarakan Tat Prakasham Tat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Samyagam. Where Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj is offering his obeisances to the Panchatattva indirectly. So this is an example. The second kind of Mangalacharan is Ashivad Atmika Mangalacharan, where the reader, where the poet or the composer is offering his blessings to the reader. Anarpita Charim Chirat Karunaya Vatirana Kalau. So this particular verse is actually an Ashivad Atmika Mangalacharan given by Rupa Goswami in his Vivakta Madhav Natika. So and then he's offering blessings. Oh, by this composition, let Sri Sac-cid-ananda bless you and bestow his causeless mercy on you. So that is second. Third kind of Mangalacharan is Vastu Nirdesham Atmika Mangalacharan. Vastu means subject matter. No, Vastu means subject matter. Nirdesh means subject, message. So just like the Vastu Nirdesh or the main message of Bhagavatam is Ete Chamsha Kalha Pumsam Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So any contradiction in the Bhagavatam is ultimately reconciled taking this verse into light. So Namami Ishwaram Sac-cid. Namami Ishwaram is, this is Namaskar Kriya Atmika Mangalacharan, which is being given by our Sanatana Goswami. So by Satyavrata Muni. So Namami. So Namami means I bow down. Correct? Na means Nivritti. Mama means the conception of I and mine. So when we are offering our Namaste, our Namaskaram, our Namastubhyam to the Supreme Lord, we are actually telling the Supreme Lord that what I claim to be mine is actually not mine. Everything is yours. When we offer obeisances, this is the mood. When we say Namaha, or like, in Yagyas also we say, Krishnaya idam nam mama. What does it mean? That, my dear Lord, nothing belongs to me. Everything belongs to you. But if we come to the morning program, just somehow 2 seconds before, like the way I do many a times, and we somehow pay our obeisances fast, and, even, without chanting the prayers properly, then actually we're just simply doing gymnastics. Just going, bending down and, coming up, nothing else. That's it. So we need to offer this namaskar. When we offer obeisances to the Supreme Lord and Srila Prabhupada, it has to be filled with a proper mood and proper love and devotion. Then we can get the maximum benefits of offering obeisances. So therefore, namami. So let my whatever I possess from head to toe, let me offer it in your service, my dear Lord. So even materialistic people, they also offer the namaskaram, but they offer their namaskaram with material desires, in their heart. Oh Guruji, I have this particular material desire, please fulfill it. So therefore I'm paying my namaskar, my obeisances to you. But when a spiritualist bows down to Krishna, his desire is na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadish kamaye, mama janmani ishware, bhavatad bhakti ahituki tvai. I do not want followers. I do not want wealth. I do not want association of the opposite gender. All that I want is your ahituki bhakti. That's it. And that is what is actually the true mood when we offer obeisances to the Supreme Lord. So that is namami, na mama. Nothing is mine. Everything that I claim to be mine is yours. Then Ishwaram. The word Ishwaram means that personality. One, Ishwar means controller also. But another explanation given by Sanatana Goswami is Ishwaram means one who has all Aishwarya also. He has all the opulences. He is heavier than the heaviest, lighter than the lightest, smaller than the smallest, bigger than the biggest. So, and the 6 opulences. Aishwarisya, Samagrasya, Veerasya, Yashashashriyaha. So all these opulences are contained within that Supreme Lord. And nothing in this creation is Krishna's pervading everything, and nothing is creation is separate from him. But unfortunately, what is in our conditioned state, we have this pritak drishti. We want to see everything in separation from the Supreme Lord. A spiritualist is one who sees this table, who sees this mic stand, this mic, this Vyasasan. Everything ultimately is, a manifestation of Krishna's energy. Just like, in the Chandogya Upanishad, a very beautiful analogy is given to explain this. An example of gold is given. You have gold. Everything that comes from gold, like the earrings, the bangles, the necklace, everything is simply a manifestation of gold. We give different names, according to the different forms and shapes it takes. But ultimately, everything is coming from gold. In a very similar manner, everything, everything which is a manifestation of Bhumir, Apa, Anala, Vayu, Manna, Bhumir, Apa, Anala, Vayu, Kham, Manna, Buddhir, Evacha, Ahankar, Iti, Yamme. What is Krishna is saying? Krishna is saying that everything is actually my separated energies. But Krishna is acknowledging the fact that this is my energy. Then why do we not see everything and anything in relation to the Supreme Lord? Even Srila Prabhupada, being an Uttamadhikari, he would see everything in relation to Krishna. When Prabhupada was walking and he saw a grass disconnected from the ground, and he gave a very beautiful philosophical conclusion. He said, oh, just like this grass that is disconnected from the ground, in a very similar manner, when the living entity is disconnected from Krishna, he becomes yellow and dry like this grass. So Prabhupada was once walking. He saw a dog, and the master cleaning the dog. And then he says, oh, if you don't serve God, God, then you have to serve DOG, dog. So this is what is an Uttamadhikari. And Uttamadhikari is one who sees everything in relationship with Krishna. And he does not have this pritak drishti. So even Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Yesham tu antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvanda moha nirmukta. What does it mean? What are the qualifications to be able to do Dridhavrata bhajan? First one is Yesham tu antagatam papam. He should have been sufficiently cleansed from all the sins. Second is jananam punya karmanam. He should have spiritual piety. Third is te dvandva moha nirmukta. Why is this point being made? Because such a person who is able to do Dridhavrata bhajan, he does not have this pritak drishti. Te dvandva. He does not see in the form of dualities, but he sees everything in relation to Krishna. So this is something which is very important. So what is Satyavrata Muni is doing? Satyavrata Muni is actually pulling our consciousness. He is offering obeisances, namami, to that Supreme Lord who is having who's having all opulences. And he's telling us, if you want to get to the point of appreciating and participating in Krishna's sweet pastimes, first you need to come to the point of being free from this vision of duality. So, namami ishwaram. Then the second one is sac-cid-ananda-rupam. So I hope everyone is clear. Namami ishwaram. Yes, I'm paying obeisances. I am paying obeisances with that mood that, my dear Lord, nothing is mine. And to that Lord, who is the heavier than the heaviest, the lighter than the lightest, the smaller than the smallest, bigger than the biggest, and the one who's possessing Aishwarasya, Samagrasya, Veerasya, Yashashashriya. So to that Lord, I offer my obeisances. Whose form is? Sac-cid-ananda-rupam. So Sat means Satya, that which does not change. Krishna is the abode of all truth. Everything in this world is temporary. It is not real. But that thing which is Satya is, Krishna is all Satya. He is truth. We belong to Krishna. That is the second truth. And the connection between Bhakta and Bhagwan comes through the medium of Bhakti. That is the ultimate truth. So besides this, there's nothing else. When we meditate on this aspect of Sac-cid-ananda, and we come closer and tap to this realization, then we also very quickly to the degree we tap to this understanding of Sac-cid-ananda, to that degree we will also achieve our sac-cid-ananda-rupa, which is bereft of this gross body. So Sat. So that is Sat. Chit means knowledge. So what does Krishna say in the Bhagavad Gita? Vedaham samatityani vartamani cha arjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu veda na kaschana. I am the knower of the past. I am the knower of the present. I am the knower of the future. So Krishna knows everything. So that is the Chit. So Krishna knows everything, but we do not know anything at all much. We cannot even at this point of time understand what is happening with the food in my body that I've eaten. All that I know that I eat food through my mouth, and how the food nourishes the entire body, we are clueless. But Krishna not only understands what is going in our body, Krishna is knowing what is exactly happening in the body of another person also. So Krishna is all cognizant. He knows everything. Janmadi yasya yataha anvayad abhigyah. Correct? Abhigyah means cognizant. He is all knowledgeable. He knows everything. So Sat Chit Ananda. And Ananda means Krishna is all blissful, ever happy. Even if Krishna is circumstantially seems to be morose, but that moroseness that Krishna is exhibiting is a source of all happiness. Like for example, Krishna bearing separation with his devotees. He is crying on the, when he is on the bedstead, besides Mother Rukmini, he is remembering, hey Radhe, hey Lalite, remembering the gopis of Vrindavan. But that moroseness is actually a source of all happiness for him. So that is sac-cid-ananda. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj writes, this chit aspect is taken care by, any idea? Balramji. Thank you, Guruji. So he is taken care by Balramji. And the chit aspect is taken care of by Krishna. And the ladhani or the ananda aspect is taken care of by Srimati Radharani. So actually, Krishna is externally managed by Balaramji and internally managed by Srimati Radharani. Eka hi swarupa doye binna matra kaye adya kaya vyuha Krishna leela rasahai. So Krishna and Balarama are same. Adya kaya vyuha. Krishna is the original. But Balaramji manifests in order to assist Krishna. Krishna leela rasahai. Chatra padhuka shayana upadana vasana arama avasa yagya sutra simhasana. That Balramji, he manifests in the form of Krishna's chatra, umbrella, paduka, his feet, his arama, his bedstead, avasa, his residence, yagya sutra. Krishna, Balramji even manifests as Krishna's Brahman thread, yagya sutra simhasan, and his simhasan. So that is what is. Say Krishna Navadvipe Shri Chaitanya Chandra. Say Balarama Sange Shri Nityananda. That same Balaram comes in the form of Shri Nityananda. So this is what Krishnadas Kaviraj Maharaj writes. So that Krishna is being externally managed by all his paraphernalia by Balaramji. And internally, he is being managed by Srimati Radharani. So this is a very important point that we understand. So, many a times we say, Krishna is so madhurya. So what is actually madhurya? What is madhurya leela? So in this world, in this particular pastime, we see Krishna eating dirt. Even a child of this world eats dirt. But is that madhurya leela? No. Is that something so sweet? No, it is nothing so sweet. Why is a child eating dirt? First, because he's hungry. Second, because he's ignorant. And thirdly, because he does not have the ability to understand what is good and bad, what is wrong and right. So therefore he eats dirt. So there is nothing so sweet in a child eating dirt. But when Krishna does it, the actual definition of madhurata is that person who's Aishwaryavan, that person who's aware of everything, that person who's knowledgeable of anything and he knows everything what is going inside and outside. When that person agrees to eat something wrong, although he knows that it is right, then that is madhurya. That Supreme Lord, who angani yasya sakalendriya vrittimanti. Actually, Krishna can eat through his ears. He can smell through his eyes. He can, hear through his mouth. But when that Supreme Lord Krishna, he agrees to smell from his nose, hear from his ear, speak from his mouth, when he agrees to relate with the humans in the human society, that is his causeless mercy on us. That is what is madhurata. That is what is actually sweet. Krishna is ready to come and descend to a form so that we can understand him. So because, the four-handed, when we see the four-handed form of Krishna, that is Vishnu, immediately within the heart there is awe and reverence. We understand this is the Supreme Lord. But when that Krishna comes in that two-handed form, in a way and manner when we can relate with him, that is so sweet. That is so wonderful. So that is why in the third canto, Yan Martya Leela Payakam Swayoga Maya Balam Drishyate Grihitam Vismapanam. It is so bewildering. No, Padam Bhushana Bhushanangam. This, that Krishna, in this conversation, in this verse it is being said that even Krishna gets bewildered by his sac-cid-ananda-rupam form. Just imagine, when Krishna was once going to do Shringar Seva of Srimati Radharani, and he was going to the pond and picking up some flowers. But immediately when Krishna sees his own reflection in the pond, he's thinking, my God, who is this person? What is this? How is this? Why is this? He's asking all questions to himself. What's happening? It's this sac-cid-ananda-rupam form is becoming a source of attraction for that person who's Sachidananda. So Krishna also gets bewildered. Krishna himself not only gets bewildered, even Krishna's incarnations get bewildered. And we see the story of Mahavishnu, wanting, so strategically plotting in such a way that he can get darshan of the Supreme Lord. I will not go into the details of the story. You can read Bhagavatam for that. But this is how we understand that not only Krishna gets bewildered by Sac-cid-ananda-rupam, even Krishna's incarnations get totally bewildered and are eager to see that Sac-cid-ananda-rupam form. So, Sac-cid-ananda-rupam. So, even Krishna, there are many testimonies given by the gopis also, how Krishna is so beautiful. The Trailokya Saubhagam Idam Cha Niriksha-rupam Yad Go, the cows, Dvija, the birds, Yad Go Dvija Druma, the trees, the Mriga, the deers. When they see Krishna's beautiful form, their pores of the body, their hairs stand on ends and they experience ecstatic manifestations. Krishna is so beautiful. Madhuram, Madhuram, Vapurasya Vibho, Madhuram, Madhuram, Vadanam, Madhuram, Madhu Gandhi Mirdam Smitam Etat Aho, Madhuram, Madhuram, Madhumaram, Madhuram. Aha. So beautiful this verse is. Where Krishna is all sweet. Sac-cid-ananda-rupam. So, Madhur. Krishna is so beautiful. So, but now the question is, how do we get access to that beauty of Krishna? And how do we get attracted? So there's a beautiful verse in Chaitanya Charitamrit where it is said, Mahat kripa vina kona karme bhakti naye, Krishna bhakti dure raho samsara nahi akshaya. It's only when we do Mahat Seva, when we become favored by a great devotee of the Supreme Lord, then actually we can get access to the beauty of Krishna. When many a times we say, oh, we are reading and hearing, but the question is under the shade of whose lotus feet, under the shade of whose guidance are you reading and hearing? We may read and hear for millions of lifetimes and chant the holy names, but if we are not doing it under the perfect guidance of a superior, then we will get very minimal benefit. So therefore it is important that we need to be affiliated to some university. And for us that university is the parampara. That is very, very important. Otherwise, it just becomes a total, not a waste, I would say, but not much benefit you will receive. So Satyavrata Muni, at this point of time, he gives a very beautiful line of thought. So only by doing namamisvaram unto a great personality, unto a great soul, then we can get access to that sac-cid-ananda-rupam form. So in other words, there has to be Sharanagati, there has to be Prapatti, there has to be surrender. So therefore, in other words, Satyavrata Muni, the conclusion of the first line is, in case you forget all that I have said before, just you need to remember one thing. Surrender is the door to bhakti. When we understand that, then we have understood, the first line. So, time is short. So, namamisvaram sac-cid-ananda-rupam lasat-kundalam gokule bhrajamanam. So, lasat-kundalam. Lasat means beautiful. Kundalam means swinging. So, Sanatana Goswami in his Darshika Tika, he says there are two understandings as to what do you mean by lasat-kundalam. So, before that, so when this Damodar Leela takes place, so we know the Damodar Leela takes place in chapter 8. No, the Mrid Bhakshan Leela takes place in chapter 8. And before that, Krishna has killed Putana, Trinavrata, Shakatasur, and and then the Damodar Leela takes place in chapter 9. After that is chapter 10, where the deliverance of Nalkuver and Manigrief come. And at that point of time, everyone in Gokul are now thinking, every single day Krishna is being attacked by a demon. So therefore now we need to shift to another place. So when this entire pastime takes place, Krishna is around 3 years, 4 months, as per our acharyas. So this is also the same time when the Damodar Leela takes place. So therefore we understand this Damodar Leela is actually a Vatsalyamay Leela. It's a Vatsalyamay Leela. Why? How do we understand? Because normally, when we pay obeisances, offer obeisances, what is the general thing that we see? What is the first thing that, devotees offer obeisances to? To the feet. Correct? Normally, but what is Satyavrata Muni is doing here? He is directly pointing his obeisances to what is his object of meditation? To the face. And in that face, the earrings. Lasat-kundalam. So whenever there are dasya ras pastimes that are involved, normally the prayers and the composition is directed towards the lotus feet of the Lord. Like for example, if, I pay my namami to the effulgence coming from the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, or from the nupur, that is, or the anklets, which is situated at the lotus feet of the Lord. But here, Satyavrata Muni, what an explosion of devotion. He is saying, lasat-kundalam. His object of meditation is the face. Because we understand that this Damodar Leela, is a Vatsalyamay Leela. Where Mother Yashoda, she has what? She has Vatsalya Ras for Krishna. So therefore, lasat-kundalam. And also another understanding is, the swinging of the earrings of Krishna indicates Balya Chapalta. Means Krishna's childish restlessness. And another understanding that is also given is that Lasat Kundalam, see at this point of time, Shukdev Goswami has not revealed that Krishna has learned to run. But Sanatan Goswami, going into the heart of Satyavrata Muni, has revealed in his commentary, going to the meditation of Satyavrata Muni, he has revealed that actually Krishna has not only learned how to stand, Krishna has learned not only how to walk, but Krishna has learned how to run. How do we understand? See, when we walk, or when a person walks, the earrings will not swing the way, it just moves. But when you run, the earrings actually swing, to and fro. So in a very similar manner, when Lasat Kundalam, swinging earrings is a clear indication that Krishna has actually learnt how to run. So this is another insight given by Sanatan Goswami. How beautiful. So, namamisvaram sac-cid-ananda-rupam lasat-kundalam gokule bhrajamanam. So this beautiful Krishna, he sparkles like a jewel in the necklace of the Vrajavasis. He is that bright, shone, effulgent jewel, in the necklace. So it refers to Krishna exhibiting pastimes in Gokul, the likes of which was never exhibited anywhere in the history of creation, in any of the universes or in any of the incarnations. And the most important factor that differentiates the pastimes that take place in Gokul and the pastimes of other incarnation is the intensity of love that Krishna exhibits for the Vrajavasis and the Vrajavasis exhibit for Krishna. So Gokula, so bhrajamanam, refers splendorously effulgent. So Krishna, that Krishna, whom I pay obeisances to, whose form is sac-cid-ananda-rupam, is splendorously effulgent in the land of Gokul. I hope all of you are understanding. Yes? In the lasat-kundalam gokule bhrajamanam. So I will extend for another 5-10 minutes. Please forgive me because I don't want to stop here itself. He had told me that you should finish on time. But yes, so lasat-kundalam gokule bhrajamanam. Yasoda-bhiyolukhalad dhavamanam. So Yasoda-bhiya. So what is bhiya? Means fear. Like bhaya, bhaibhit. Fear. He's running out of whom? Fear of Yashoda. Yasoda-bhiya. So you see, can you just imagine Krishna being fearful of Mother Yashoda? That person whom everyone is fearful. Krishna in the form of mother of Kapila Muni tells Mother Devahuti, oh, I am, it's the wind that blows out of fear of me. Mad bhaya dvati vatoyam.
Suryas tapati mad bhayat. The sun burns out of fear of me. And then what does he say? Yeah, Indra bestows the rainfall out of fear of me. And fire also burns out of fear of me. And then mrityus charati madbhayat. And death also takes a toll on a person because of fear of me. So everyone is so fearful of Krishna. The material elements do their job because they are fearful of Krishna. But here, Krishna, the transcendental point of humor is that Krishna is fearful of, something, of Vraj Gopi, Mother Yashoda. So this is, and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur at this point of time clarifies that actually Krishna is not acting. He is not doing some, he is not doing some act here. But actually Krishna is very fearful of Mother Yashoda. So this is what is Achintya Bheda Bhetatva. I forgot also. Yeah. Achintya Bheda Bhetatva. So that is what is so Achintya. That is what is so inconceivable to the logical mind. So yasoda-bhiyolukhalad. So, and then yasoda-bhiyolukhalad, ulukhalad means the wooden grinding mortar, and dhavamanam. Dhavamanam means Krishna is running, and what is Mother Yashoda doing? Paramrishtam. And what is Mother Yashoda doing? He is trying to catch Krishna. Just imagine, Mother Yashoda is trying to catch Krishna. No one is has been ever able to catch Krishna. The great yogis, pantas to koti shatavatsara sampragamyo vayur athapi manaso munipungavanam sopyasti yat prapada simni avichintya tatve govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. The yogis also, after doing a lot of pranayam and breathing in and out, they are still not able to catch Krishna. All that they can access is just the effulgence that is coming out from the toenails of Krishna. That's it. Nothing else. But here we see that Mother Yashoda is so easily able to catch Krishna. That is so amazing. Even, actually, I will conclude with this. There's so much to say, but what to do. Time is short. So Yashoda, Bhiya, paramrishtam. So paramrishtam is, Mother Yashoda is trying to catch Krishna, and Krishna is running out of Bhiya of Yashoda. So let me conclude with this. See, in Mathura Leela, Jarasandha attacked Krishna 17 times. But in the 18th time, he came with Kalyavan, with his 130 million Yavana soldiers. And when he came with Kalyavan and his entire troop of army, when Krishna saw Kalyavan, Krishna simply got off from the chariot. Now the Kshatriya code of conduct is, if a person is getting off from the chariot, then you cannot sit on your chariot and fight. You also need to get off from the chariot and fight. Or let's say, if your opponent's sword, you have disarmed him, you also need to wait till the point he picks up the sword and he's ready to fight. Only then you can proceed on with the fight, not otherwise. So this is the Kshatriya code of conduct. So when Krishna got off from the chariot, even Kalyavan, he's saying, "Oh, you coward boy, what are you doing? Why don't you fight?" So he got off from the chariot and he tried to, and he was running with full speed. Srila Prabhupada in the Krishna book writes, he was running with full speed. But Krishna, what was he doing? He was just walking. He was doing nothing. He was just coolly walking. And Kalyavan, with his full strength and power, was running swiftly. But the most astonishing thing our acharyas reveal is that the distance between Kalyavan and Krishna remained the same. There is no difference at all. That is what happened in Mathura Leela. Now Vraj Leela, the Vrindavan Leela, which is all the more complete, which is all the more, complete in every sense. Now, who is chasing here? Kalyavan was chasing Krishna. Now, Kalyavan, who is a powerful Kshatriya, with full strength, is trying to chase Krishna. On the other hand, in Vrindavan Leela, Yashoda, she is not a Kshatriya. She is just a simple Vraja Gopi. And our acharyas reveal that she was even fat. She was plump. And just imagine, a person who's very, very fat, who's plump, it becomes very difficult for that person to run, because carrying one's own weight becomes very difficult. But that Mother Yashoda, was so easily able to catch Krishna. Now, why was she able to catch Krishna? What is the understanding behind it? The further details will be revealed. That is the link to the second verse. Rudantam mohur netra yogmam rejantam karamboja yogmena shatanka netram moshvasakam patereka kantha sitasdima damodaram bhakti badam. And that verse be taken by His Grace Hari-Bhakti Prabhu the next week. So maybe just 1 minute summary so that we understand the whole verse. So namami, so I pay obeisances to that Supreme Lord Ishvara who has all opulences with the mood that my dear Lord, nothing is mine. And to which form? To that form which is sac-cid-ananda-rupam. And Satyavrata Muni, so the line of thought is surrender is the door to bhakti. Lasat-kundalam indicates that this is a Vatsalya-mai Leela, because Mother Yashoda is, in Vatsalya Ras. Gokula Braja, that Krishna whose Ishwaram is splendorously effulgent in the land of Gokul. And so the last two lines indicate Leela Vashishta. The speciality of the Leela. What is happening in the Leela? That Yashoda is chasing Krishna out of bhaya, fear. And what is Krishna doing? Dhavamanam. He is running. And paramrishtam. And then that running Krishna, Mother Yashoda, what's she trying to do? Paramrishtam. She's trying to catch Krishna. Atyanta drutya gopya. So, atyanta means very much, drutya means chasing after him quickly, and by that gopi who is Mother Yashoda. So, Shri Radha Damodara ki jai, Yashoda Damodara ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Thank you very much.